morning, crafters. Eloise here with Paper Fire Studio. And I guess I am fired up today. We had a great weekend. My daughter and I got to spend some time over the weekend together at a retreat in Wimberley, Texas. And we had a blast. It was a lot of fun, but we got a lot of stuff done. We got focused crafting time, uninterrupted, and it was great. So I just wanted to share with you a couple of things that we made, and then I want to show you a couple of journals just in time for Mother's Day. So, but before we get to that, let me share with you a couple of fun things. Roxy Creations, she showed how to make envelopes. And they ended up being more than an envelope, but they're made out of book pages. So collage on the front, and there's a little pocket here for some things that could fit on the side. And then you just staple all kinds of different cutoffs. Good way to use up your paper. You know, put a little lace on it. And then they'll slide in to your journals, or they can wrap around a page. You'll see how I use these in my journals in just a minute. But I got to make some of those, and you'll see all kinds of different ideas here. This one, I put the pocket facing the other way with some eco-dyed paper. And again, some more of the cutoffs there with a ribbon and a little bird. So that one was a lot of fun. And then third one, this one I didn't do any papers in it. Use it for just a pocket there. This one's, it's not quite as thick. Added a little fabric on there, stitched around it. Again, these envelopes, a lot of uses for them. That's why I loved her tutorial on them. But Roxy Creations, thank you for that. Those were a lot of fun. And of course, we are still working on our seed packets that we got from Target. I chose to use the seed packets as a collaging base. So using the outline of the seed packet, I went ahead and even stitched it closed. You can see here that I inserted a picture and then stitched around it. So you're pretty much committed to that picture when you do this. But you'll see how I use these in my journals in a minute. So got to have some fun with some layering here, buttons and some lace under that. So I love those. I love how those turned out. And again, you can see here just some straight collaging around. And again, it's sealed up. And this one I loved. Got some, again, good layering around the picture. And again, it's stitched. So there's some of those. Now this idea came from the last swap that we did on over at Sophie's Notes. Somebody gave me this. I had it in my Happy Mail stack, and I'm sorry, I don't know who to give the credit to, but I love these. These are really just little folders here, little tag that fits on the pocket there. And you can see over here, again, just some cutoffs, a way to use those pieces of paper. Did a little decorative and some stamping there. And these, again, can fit right inside your journal. I used old book paper as the hinge there and stitched both sides to the old book paper. So I loved the way those turned out. Added some lace up there, stitched around it. Same thing with this one. You can see here, did a little tag, a little lace up there, and again your stitch off paper there. Oh, these were so fun to make. And I've used these already in my journals. And then I spent one of the afternoons just having fun making some altered paper clips. What would a retreat be without taking time to make some altered paper clips? And you can see here, a lot of it's just collage, wrap around, and again, making sure that your paper clip is going both ways so you can use these in your journal on different sides. Yeah, these were a lot of fun to make. A lot of fun. This one I even took, this one goes up pretty high, so I didn't make too many of those because a lot of times our journals, you don't want them to be that thick, but I love that wood. Yeah, and there's some flat back pearls on the top there. Yeah, make sure you can see that there. So again, those are just some samples of ephemera that I got to make over the weekend, and oh my goodness, we have fun. Fun, fun, fun. So, now let me show you, with Mother's Day coming up, I have been working on 3 journals for Mother's Day, and I'm going to hold back the third one. I'll show you that one in a minute. But I wanted to make some journals for really anybody who in the journaling world just loves a place to put their words in something that's really pretty. I have a poster up, and I think I've mentioned this before. I have a poster up in my studio that says, "Someday, all they'll have is your words." And I believe that I want to encourage people that I meet to journal, to put down your thoughts for your family, for your friends, that they will have your words on what you're thinking and what you're feeling. And so what I've done is I've been working on these journals, and I've entitled them different themes. Again, it could be anything that they want, but I want to start with this one. And I've entitled this one Love. And I've entitled it Love. I've stamped it on a piece of craft text and sewed it right to the sari silk. And it's kind of like it becomes a little theme around the sari silk of the band. So we'll set that off to the side. And you can see here what I've done is this is the seed packet from Target. These actually I love so much, I ended up making them the focal point of the journals. I didn't add anything else except a little bit of lace along the left-hand side. But as you open it up, I'm going to go through this one probably more in depth because the rest of the two are formatted really just the same. Use some eco-dyed paper here on the outside and just a place for them to either write what they'd like this journal to be about. And I put it with a velvet belly band on the diagonal. Wow, I wish you could feel it. I found this at Hobby Lobby. They have spools of velvet. It does have wire in it, and I went ahead and pulled the wire out of it because I don't want it that stiff. But a great way to use this in your journals and have velvet. You're going to see more of how I use that in a minute. And again, on this side, Genevieve Designs has templates for envelopes, and I've used that here and stuck a little place for them to journal inside. And here's one of those altered paper clips. So again, just to start out the journal with a nice, beautiful wow. And as we get into it, you'll see places to record thought. Here's a place, again, with pretty lace on it. There's a tuck spot behind. And the antique papery printed off some of those beautiful pages. And I've got a snippet roll in some Happy Mail. And I've used that for tabs, to make some tabs here that, again, on both sides of the paper, they add just a nice mixed media look to the normal tab that we would use. And again, here's some of that velvet again. This velvet came in a fat quarter, and to cut it up, making another belly band with it. And here is another one of those little booklets that I just showed we made at the retreat. That slides perfectly in there. And some old, I found a book a couple weeks ago that was Latin. Beautiful papers out of, they're almost printed on parchment. Beautiful paper. And again, a glassine bag. Spring Farmhouse has some journaling cards. I used that in there. Music paper. I also made some collage papers that I have scanned in and I've used here in the journal. Pocket here with some lace and another tag for them to write on. Plenty of places to journal. And again, this is one of the good old junk mail. Save your junk mail envelopes. Just did some stamping on that and added a really pretty tag in there next to a doily. Yeah, I had some fun with this page. I hole punched 5 holes on the side of this page and threaded some seam, again, that's just that hand-dyed seam ribbon all throughout the 5. So it decorates both sides of the page there. Thought that was kind of fun. Nice vellum. And again, some beautiful papers, which brings me to the middle. I also found at Hobby Lobby a roll of faux leather. They have them in like 4 or 5 different colors. This happened to be in this beautiful muted pink that I love. I stitched around it and then adhered it to the page on both sides. You can see it here on both sides. And of course, this is the middle of the signature here. This is from Genevieve Designs too, the template for this envelope here. Let me show you real quick though what I have included in this journal. These are also on a template from Genevieve Designs. I realized that when I was at the retreat, it wasn't, the ladies that were there were not all paper crafting artists. They were doing a lot of other crafts, beading, quilt making. So I walked around and I was showing them a journal, and they honestly, they are not crazy like us, okay? They don't really, if they had gotten a journal, they were like, what do we do with it? What do you do on the pages? And I realized at that point, guys, that maybe we need to expand a little bit and help people understand what to do with journals, help prompt them. And so what I want to include in journals from now on are photo mats. Help them understand that, you know what, if you receive this, place a photo here. You could use photo mats if you wanted to. You could take some photos, put your photo on the mat. You could adhere it here. You could put it on a tag here. And to help them understand, you know what? Take your photos, put them in here. I also thought about including journal prompts. Maybe a sheet that goes in here as well about what ideas could you journal about. Your favorite moments, your the things that interest you, just to prompt them to write in a journal. We assume that people know. And I had a rude awakening over this retreat that people don't know. They really don't know what to do with a beautiful journal. So I want to help expand the market by coaching them about what to do in a journal. So here, again, both tags, they could write on their thoughts. They could put a photo here. Here is more of that velvet. I wish you could feel this. This came in a fat quarter. I cut it down. I backed it with paper so it had a little bit more structure to it. And I always like the tip-ins of fabric here. Again, this might be something that they might not want everybody to see, but again, to put some thoughts down under the fabric tip-in. Beautiful doily. And again, this is a template from Genevieve. And again, beautiful paper to write maybe their thoughts about a specific time in their life that was important to them. That could go there. This one has a tag, and we have an art store near us, Jerry's Art-A-Rama. They are online as well. I'm lucky that they're about a half hour away from me. They have paper made out of wood pulp, and that's what this is. I wish you could feel it. It's just the oddest paper, and it's not very expensive. So I used it in here. I thought it just brought a great texture into the page. I'm always looking for fun stuff. This is the back side of that collage page that I did. And again, the other side of the glassine bag and that page of Latin. And here's another collage page that I did, leaving it open for their thoughts. And the velvet belly band again with more of that snippet roll. And here is that envelope that I showed you from Roxy's Creations, how it's used, that it can be clipped on to the page, but again, has plenty of room to write in, put some notes in that. And again, it can come right back over that page and become a part of their journal again. And the last page has a little side pocket on it as well. And that's the journal for love. Now, I will tell you that this one is already spoken for. I have already sold this one. And I'm not going to, this one I've entitled Life. This one is literally the exact same thing. I mean, I'll flip through it real quick, just so you can see. Eco-dyed paper. Again, we've got the same snippet roll. This one, however, is velvet, but it's an embossed. It's like embossed with a flower in it. Oh, it's beautiful. Again, the glassine bag and a collage paper. And then a junk journal envelope, the stitched paper, the vellum with the leather, and this has the photo albums in it as well. I wanted to show you this though. Look at that velvet stamped tip-in. Oh, it's beautiful. I just put a little word gratitude there. Again, has the pretty paper there with that wood pulp. There you go. And the collage sheet with the velvet. Yeah, I didn't have this one pinned in there, but again, that one and that article and that envelope. Yeah, and this one is entitled Life. So again, I basically made that one generic there. So that one will be in my Etsy shop. But I did want to show you the third one because I did something kind of special to this one. And by special, I mean how it is encased. I went to a website, and some of you may have seen it. I believe it's called on Etsy or YouTube, I'm sorry. She is called Treasure Books. And she showed us how to use the plastic from your Afghans when you buy, you know, Bed Bath & Beyond, and you go and you buy the blanket and you have that big plastic zippered pouch that they come in. Well, she took that big zippered pouch and she cut it up to make these pouches for journals, and I'll show you a couple other ways I used it. Now, I didn't have the pouches with the Afghans in it. I didn't have that. So I started brainstorming, where could I get that plastic if I don't have the Afghans or the quilts? So, of course, I went to Hobby Lobby and I asked the girl about the plastic, and she said, absolutely, we have that. So you can buy that. In fact, oh, I forgot to get that. Let me get it. I'll show you how it comes. See, it comes in a roll. I can't even put it all on the camera here, but it comes in a roll just like this, and it's $4 a yard. And it's huge because it's really long. And I thought, wow, the price is right on that, because you could get a lot out of this. So here's what I did. I take my journal out for a minute. So you can see here that it is literally a pouch that you stitch the little flap, and you can, I used little, you can see here, the little screws, and you can use your baker's twine to seal it up, and it's a way to protect the journals, because as we know, water is the enemy of paper. So I decided that any journal that leaves my studio from now on is going to come in this packaging, because I think for anybody receiving the journal will kind of understand that there's a lot of work in these, and you don't want to get stuff on them, so that they can transport them around in a safe way. They can use the little pouch that they come in. Now, here's what I learned. And if you're thinking about looking at this idea and going, oh, I like this idea. This third journal is not done yet. It's not complete as these are, but I wanted to show you that you see how thick, let me get this toward the camera, how thick this is. Well, that fits into this journal easy. But if you look at these, how thick these are, they're not going to fit in this size. I needed to have made this wider when you think about how fat our journals are. So when you go to make this, I would add on probably 1 inch on either side when you go to make these. If you're interested in making these for your finished journals, make sure they're wide enough because these get pretty thick. So I'm excited about these, and let me show you what else I did with these. So once you make that, she also talked about in her video that now you can start making these for a lot of different things. So while I was at the retreat, I was cutting, and I had a lot of papers, the ends of papers, and I started having a stack of them. Well, I now have these holding scraps of paper. This was a lot fuller. Here's a bigger one. You can see that this one would house wider cutoffs. You can use these for so many things. So I made a wider one. I made a little bit narrower one to hold the papers. So if I'm looking for some papers for my journals, I can just go to this, use this, because it's holding a lot of scraps. So the ideas for this is endless. So I'm excited about that. And I hope that you get excited about it too. And I'm going to go make some more for all of my journals now because I think it's a great idea. So I am going to go finish Joy. Joy will be looking just like the other two. And Life will be up in my Etsy shop probably by the end of today. Joy will be up in probably a couple of days if you are interested. Given for Mother's Day gift or for your sister or for ever you think would love to put their thoughts in a beautiful way. All right, I hope you have a great day. I look forward to the next video. So go make it a great day. Thanks. Bye-bye.